Hey everybody, welcome to another week of pickups that I got. The week is December, and the pickups are from the 17th of 2024. So let's get started and see what our first book is. First book is Wolverine 55, the Greg Land cover. It's an homage to crime suspense stories, number 22, I think it is. Um, really cool cover. Uh, Absolutely love it. Um, I've had a few of these copies, and I always seem to pick them up whenever I get them. So it's something really cool to get. I totally enjoy it. Next up, we've got Incredible Hulk 333. Um, Really cool cover. A lot of people think this is part of the McFarlane run. It's not, but it is sort of an iconic cover. Uh, it's got Hulk just in the darkness, and he's just sitting ready to see what's going on. But speaking of McFarlane covers, we've got Hulk 344. It's kind of an iconic McFarlane cover. It's sort of an homage to ASM 300, although I think this was before ASM 300. So ASM 300 is more an homage to this. Uh, we also have Incredible Hulk 441, which definitely is an homage to Pulp Fiction, and this is definitely Pulp Fiction was definitely before this. But yeah, it's a really cool cover with She-Hulk just in the pose from the Pulp Fiction poster. Uma Thurman. We've got, and switching up, we've got Miss Marvel number 16, which is the beginning and the very first cameo of Mystique. This is the very, um, not the first full appearance, but the first cameo, sort of like ASM 298, where it's just in there. We've got the second appearance in Miss Marvel number 17, where it's the second cameo appearance of Mystique, and she's disguised as Nick Fury. So, cool book. I've got 18 coming, I think, next week, so unfortunately I can't show it this week. Next up, we've got The Amazing Spider Man. Uh, I think it's called the All Sendin variant. Um, the covers of, I think it's annual 2 or 3. But you when you bought all laundry detergent, you sent in whatever, and you got this comic back, and it's uh, the origin of Spider-Man retold. So really cool book, kind of hard to find at times. Not really expensive, but you know, sometimes harder to get in higher grade. We also have the Tick number 11, and I'm a huge Tick fan. Uh, so anytime I see ticks, I pick them up. Not the little insecty ones, but definitely the comic book ones. Um, I'm still looking for a few printings of number 1, for my PC. But yeah, anytime I see the Tick, I usually grab it. This is, I think, third printing. Um, they were very low print runs in the beginning. Um, so finding the first printings are sometimes hard, and they're in battered up shape. So with the Tick came a offshoot called Man Eating Cow, and there's Man Eating Cow number one. I haven't read it yet, so I remember way back when I read the Tick about the man-eating cow, but I haven't read this issue, so I'm looking forward to taking a look, giving it a read, and seeing how it is. Uh, we also have Master of Kung Fu number 71. You're like, okay, well, it's a newsstand. But what's special about this? Why did you pick it up? I'm not a Master of Kung Fu guy, but what makes this one special? It's right here. It's a star stamp, Mark Jewelers, which means not only was it sold near a military base, it was actually sold to a service person. So a service person had this comic, and whoever it was, thank you for your service. But yeah, that was actually his comic. So it was sold on a military base. That's what the star stamp is. And it was really cool. So I thought that was awesome to pick up. The next one, uh, it's not as expensive as it used to be. That used to hit like $100, $200, but Spider-Man India. I can't pronounce it correctly, so I'm not even going to try, but it's the Indian version of Peter Parker, and his story. Um, really cool cover. The insides aren't so great, but it's an interesting read. It's something to uh, maybe pick up because they aren't expensive. Maybe pick up the trade paperback and go from there. Next, we have Cyblade She. Now, this is the very first um, appearance of the Witchblade. And this is a variant. This is the Golden Apple um, variant. It's limited to 1,000 copies. And it comes with a COA. But what really makes it interesting, and I didn't know this till a few months ago, till a friend told me, is because it's a J Company book, it's a uh, little wider, and it overhangs a bit. So when you can't get it slabbed, the encapsulation process would actually ruin the book. So if you send a book like this or any other J Company into CGC or CBCS, they'll be returned saying they can't slab it because it would destroy the book. But still a very cool book, very hard to find, limited. So I'm a big Witchblade fan, so this is really cool. Next, we've got number 2 and number 1 of Nightmares on Elm Street. Huge Freddy Krueger fan. Really cool innovation publishing work. It's not the first Freddy Krueger, but it is, I think, the first. I think the other one was a one shot, so or the first was a one shot. So this might be the first ongoing series. If I'm wrong, tell me in the comments down below. Next up, we've got Fraggle Rock #1 in a newsstand. Fraggle Rock was, for those that don't know, was an 80s cartoon. Was a Jim Henson production. So everybody knows, the Muppets and whatever from Jim Henson. Well, this was Fraggle Rock. It was sort of a whole community and world down below the surface of these things called Fraggles. It was really cool. The theme song's so catchy. It's still in my head as soon as I put it up. I won't sing it, but if you want to get it, want to get something with an earwig stuck in your brain, go take a listen to the Fraggle Rock theme song. Next, we've got Aspen Splash Swimsuit Edition from 2006. They did it, I think, 2005 to 2009. They did one every year. So it's got all the work from Michael Turner and others in the swimsuit editions. Sorry to see Michael, he died way too young, but his art is really cool. So, stuff like Fathom and Witchblade and his work on Batman and Superman and countless others. So it's just a lot of pinup style art, and it's just a comic of that. So really cool. And last, everyone knows I'm a huge Godzilla fan. I mean, he's right there, and he's right there in the background, on the right there, right behind the TARDIS. This caught my eye, and I'm like, okay, well, sure. It's unopened. It is never been read, so I don't want to read it, but I want to find another copy that's maybe a little bit beater that I can use as a reader. I guess they made a movie about it, but it's not Zilla, and I was seeing it on a auction stream, and I'm like, wait a second, did that say beer makes him grow? And they're like, yes. I'm like, I have to have it. Huge Godzilla fan. It's an homage to Godzilla #1. Really cool. We'll see how the story is. The movie seemed to be, just plain out absolute 80s cheese, but we'll see how close it is. But that's the pickups for this week, guys. I hope you had enjoyment watching it. Let me know in the comments what you thought, which ones you want, which ones you might pick up, and also tell me what you got this week. So thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you again on the next pickups.